It's Monday, March 18, and this is your Barbados Today Evening News Update. So glad you can join us. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. The Royal Barbados Police Force reassures Barbadians that it's working around the clock to arrest the spike in gun violence. In the wake of 3 shooting deaths over the weekend, Assistant Commissioner of Police in charge of crime, Euclid Thompson, acknowledges the growing concerns of Barbadians and says the force is not treating the matter lightly. On Friday, 16-year-old Ashton Ronaldo Ford of Green Hill Main Road was shot and killed, and last night, 52-year-old Betty Mayers and her 32-year-old son Jamal died at Rice's St. Philip after being attacked by masked gunmen.
Was, with the best will in the world, any law enforcement organization would want to prevent crime, and in particular crime where people lose their lives. We cannot put a mine in people, and so if we could get into people's mind and see what they're planning and so on, we could be able to prevent things. In the scope of things in our country, we can only execute plans which speaks to prevention and detection in terms of our patrolling systems. In terms of our intelligence, we could only deal with those things that we have available to us.
70-year-old Easton Skeet is counting his blessings after he narrowly escaped serious injury and possible death when a tractor-trailer carrying an excavator crashed into the front door of his home early this morning. The impact pushed the house off its foundation. The front door was also damaged, along with some of the contents inside the house.
I decided to sit down now and drink my coffee and so on. I watch CNN. Right. I hear this crashing. Right? So I scratch off and I through the back door because I already know. I thought the truck would blow up that was fixing. So I bumped through the back door and I can't run to the front here. I saw the truck inside.
Skid says he spoke to representatives of a Black Bess Quarry, the owner of the truck, and they have agreed to compensate him for the damage. Blocks across Barbados are set to undergo major transformation with today's official launch of the community-based Entrepreneurial Development and Life Skills Training Program. Youth and Community Empowerment Minister Adrian Ford said the initiative, which is one of the components of the Building Blocks program, is intended to create safe and productive spaces for the nation's youth to thrive.
Those derelict buildings that you see across Barbados that youngsters line and see as a safe haven when the day is gone, they are going to become ideal business centers. We are going to put kiosks on those blocks that are going to facilitate businesses, whether it is car wash, whether it is the service bed, like the one I spoke about opposite Sheridan Center that we are going to create, whether it is going to be a barbering shop. And trust me, there are young women that frequent these blocks as well. And we in this ministry are not misogynist. We recognize that young women must feel a sense of entitlement as well, and they must have a space. So we are going to put a kiosk and a business area for cosmetics, for nail and acrylics and hairdressing, whatever that young ladies wish to do. We are going to incorporate young ladies in our exercise.
Barbados' poor immigration policies have affected its economic growth over the last decade. That's the view of Home Affairs Minister Edmund Hinkson. He says there is no mistaking the contribution of CARICOM nationals to the local economy, and their declining numbers did have a negative impact.
You think that under the dams unemployment is high? Well, it would be much higher. In other words, a lot of Barbadians living in Barbados got the jobs because of CARICOM. That is the basic thing. I can't put it no simpler. A lot of us, our families, our friends, have their job in industry, in whatever else, because of CARICOM. Because we are able to sell goods to other CARICOM countries, St. Lucia, Trinidad, Dominica, Grenada, Jamaica, St. Kitts, without duties of tariffs, which are applied to goods coming in from outside CARICOM.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To the region now, in the wake of the terror attack in Christchurch, New Zealand, some Muslims in Trinidad and Tobago are taking precautionary measures to safeguard their worshippers. At a gathering today to remember those killed in the massacre, some Muslim leaders expressed concern over the safety of their places of worship.
Imam Shiraz Khan of the Nur-e-Islam Mosque in El Socorro is expressing concern that a similar situation to what happened in New Zealand could take place right here in Trinidad and Tobago. As a safety measure, the Imam says he has written to Police Commissioner Gary Griffith requesting police presence outside his mosque.
I did write the Commissioner of Police and requested from the Ministry of National Security as well to have at least one police car there to add some security to the people. Of course, we put our trust in our Creator, and we felt that whatever is going to happen has to happen. But at the same time, in Islam we are told there's a saying, "Taya Kamel," which means make sure that you put things in place as best as you can. We're hoping that in the coming weeks we will be able to get some assistance in that regard.
On the international scene, a suspect is in custody in the Netherlands after a shooting on a tram in the central Dutch city of Utrecht left 3 people dead and 5 wounded. Dutch authorities had raised the threat level to its highest after the shooting, and it was reduced once the hours-long manhunt came to an end. More in this report from Al Jazeera Television.
After the shooting took place here, there was a raid at an apartment block not too far away from here, like a few blocks from here. And the police is still searching for the suspect. Everything is on lockdown. It's quite hectic. It's difficult to get around in the city. And Prime Minister of the Netherlands, Marc Rutte, has said he does not rule out a terrorist motive. So far, the mayor has spoken out. He said that there are 3 people dead now and several injured. They've been rushed to a hospital. And
that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media and bus terminals as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. And you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Good evening.